Welcome to the Sustainable Homes Expo and Ninamani. Thank you. I would like to acknowledge that we meet on the traditional country of the Kaurna people, on Kaurna Yerta, and pay respects to elders past and present. We recognise and respect their cultural heritage, beliefs and relationship with the land and country, and acknowledge the continuing importance to Kaurna people living today in connecting with and healing country. We're holding the Sustainable Home Expo next to beautiful Forth Creek, which is just behind you. Forth Creek was of significance to the Kaurna and is of significance to the Kaurna, but it was as a corridor to travel through the Adelaide Plains and as a source of food, including freshwater mussels, yabbies, lamprey and fish. The Kaurna name for Forth Creek is Moriata, which actually means ever-flowing. And there's evidence that Forth Creek continued to flow all year round, unlike other major creeks in Adelaide, which dried up naturally during the summer. So if you get a chance, go and look at Forth Creek, and you can even follow the Forth Creek walking trail, which is really beautiful. It's certainly flowing now. The last 3 years has been tough on most households. The pandemic, the increasing cost of living, the impacts of climate change, life can seem pretty daunting. That's why it's important that we find a more sustainable way of living, starting with our homes. And I believe everyone here today certainly understands that. There's many challenges and opportunities for households when it comes to being more sustainable. But where do you start and who do you trust? We're excited to bring together today a comprehensive range of expert speakers and pre-vetted exhibitors for you to interact with. From government partners that can provide you with unbiased advice and answer specific questions that you might have, to organisations who can help you create gardens in small spaces, design your new home, learn how to design for better water use and more. We have something for everyone. Please note that there's a sausage sizzle between 12 and 1:30, compliments of the Athelston Lions Club and Campbelltown City Council, and we're catering to all dietary needs, so there'll also be vegetarian patties. Please feel free to grab one on your way out, talk to stall holders and generally have a great time. As part of Campbelltown's climate solutions strategy, we're committed to leading our city towards a climate resilient and sustainable future. And as part of this, we're keen to help empower the community to make sustainable decisions in your homes that will also benefit you in the long run, from lower energy bills or more comfortable home environments. Whether you're starting out on your sustainable journey or already well on the way, we hope that you can find some inspiration, advice and broaden your knowledge of what you can do with your home. I want to give a big thank you to Rachel, Kim and Sue from the City of Campbelltown who've organised today, and also a thanks to Ken and the ASBN and Beck and Resilient East Partners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Maria Zotti. She is a manager here at the Campbelltown City Council. Recently started this week, so what an awesome event to be able to launch the first week in. So my name's Beck Taylor. I'm the coordinator of Resilient East. Resilient East is a partnership of 8 of the Eastern Adelaide councils. We work together with the state government through many different facets: asset management, governance, community events and awareness and education about dealing with natural disasters and preparedness. And Climate Ready Homes is one that we're pushing in the next couple of years. So this is our first kind of big event together, and thank you so much for Campbelltown for running it. Without further ado, I am going to introduce our first speaker, Ken Long. So Ken is currently the Sustainability Manager of Project Delivery across SA and Victoria for Lendlease, and they're a Green Star Accredited Professional and an Ambassador of the Living Building Challenge. Ken's been working for a very long time in sustainable building. He's interested in biophilic design, green building ratings, life cycle analysis, and really he's behind as well the ASBN, the Adelaide Sustainable Building Network, and he's currently the chair of that group, who have helped put on today in a big way. So I'd like to bring Ken to the stage and he can tell you all about why build sustainably.
Thank you very much, Beck. And also thank you very much to all the organizers, Resilient East, for being able to put together this fantastic collaboration with the Adelaide Sustainable Building Network. And we always appreciate collaborations across town, because that's how we are able to connect with so many fantastic people like yourselves this morning. And before I go on, I also just want to shout out everyone here that's here today. So give yourself a round of applause for showing up. That's step number one. And of course, also would like to acknowledge that we are on Kaurna land, on Kaurna Yerta, and acknowledging Aboriginal communities and pay our respects to all elders past, present, and emerging. All right, so taking some of y'all back to maybe teenage years, or if you had a teenager during the 90s, you might have heard this saying a lot. This is the least known Backstreet Boy. However, I thought it was appropriate because all of you are probably asking us now, trying to figure out, tell me why ain't nothing but a, yeah. Tell me why, like you want me to tell you why, right? To have a sustainable home. So I'm not gonna be here to really tell you all the environmental kind of aspects. This is just me taking a little bit of a funny slide for myself because I do also consider myself a tree hugger in a suit. But I won't be going really deep into the environmental reasons because we have a whole day to go over that, and a lot of people that will go a lot deeper into that area that I really couldn't. So we're gonna leave all the environmental and climate change stuff all for other people to consider because we're gonna be talking about really juicy things. Y'all keen? I know it's Saturday morning, but y'all gotta give me a little bit more energy. Okay. All right, fantastic. Now, first cab off the rank. Why? I just want to get straight to the point. You know, some people are always like, why would I put the money into sustainability? And I'm here to tell you, it's probably one of the best investments you can make from a standpoint of putting a lot of money into property anyways. So, whether you are looking for a home or going to build a home or renovate a home, either way, now that you're going to have a home, that is going to be an investment in your life. And yes, location means a lot. Access to schools always mean a lot. But the latest studies actually say that a sustainable home will more than likely get you between a 17 to 20% increase on your initial investment. Wow. Can other buildings actually say that? That they will actually make you, you're almost like guaranteed to make way more money, not just location, schools, because people are actually looking for homes that will cover a lot of the other topics that we're about to talk about, but safe bet, right? And if perhaps, you know, you're putting that down and it's like, oh yeah, I do want to make another 100 grand on this investment, whether you're there for 3 to 5 years or even a lifetime, and then it goes to pass down the family, great investment. So take that to the heart, and the bank, I guess you can say. And this is also a local example of where the people that built the home sold the house in about 3 years after living, and even without landscape, they probably got almost 100K in return above what they built on. So just take that into consideration, especially as the market moves much more toward sustainability. Next, quality. Why would you want to think about building sustainably? A lot of people don't talk about quality. Now, when we're talking, espousing outcomes around sustainable homes, we're really talking a lot about how do you make sure things are built very well, because if it's not built very well, it's going to be leaky. You might have really bad specified insulation, so heat and cool are coming in and out of your home. When people are legitimately creating an outcome that is a sustainable home, it should actually perk up your ears in regards to almost de-risking an investment. And I say, again, because I'm saying an investment because that is truly, you're putting a lot of money down. You don't want holes in your walls. You want builders that understand How do we actually create this to actually make sure that it performs well and that our customers and our clients are actually very attuned to what they're actually going to get out of it, right? So, and a good example of this is going into the future, you actually want almost any home you have, or especially a sustainable home, to do a blower door test or a thermography test. And that's actually being able to see how leaky your house is, or with a thermography test, actually see how consistent the insulation is actually packed in behind the walls that you can't see, right? So quality, keep that in the back of your head. Now, health and comfort is also a big aspect around sustainable homes. Now, again, it has we could argue that by reducing your environmental footprint on the environment, you are actually encouraging a more healthy ecology, which of course means we will be more healthy. If our environment is not healthy, we're not healthy. But let's become a little bit more selfish, shall we? We can be selfish and say we want a more healthy existence for ourselves. We want our families to be healthy in our homes, not only like healthy mind, body. Yeah? Who agrees with that one? I see the whole room, right? And especially after the past few years that we've had, we should be paying a lot of attention to health. Now, I say this because sustainable homes also think through thinking about sustainable homes, we should be thinking about healthy materials, thinking about actually regularly bringing in fresh air, being able to potentially filter that air so you and your family, especially if you have allergies, does not affect your home and your family. And of course, comfort. Comfort is a big component of health, don't you think? Not only from a temperature standpoint, in most sustainable homes, we're really thinking about passive design, how well and energy efficient that the air conditioning system is. But if you can feel comfortable in your home, that's less stress. Stress is a killer. Stress, to actually run an AC, run any kind of things, to actually make your power bills goes up, that's a financial stress. And then on top of that, one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is acoustic comfort. Who does not like hearing the drummer next door? Y'all are nodding. Who does not like the drummer next door? Okay. I hate the drummer next door, so I want well-insulated walls and double glazing that performs very well to keep that noise out, because I want comfort and peace in my house. Resilience. Now, this hat does trigger a conversation around a little thing called climate change. I promised we weren't going to really talk about it, but I swear I won't go into the science. Resilience also means that living in your house, you would be able to take on the impacts of higher temperature, more, and also, especially we're experiencing a lot of wet weather, that we won't be inundated. And in South Australia, we probably don't really have to worry too much about flooding, but we have to make sure that our local surrounds around the house is also resilient to make sure that all that water is not just pooling or just rushing off into our neighborhoods. Something that you can definitely talk to Melissa Bradley at Water Sensitive SA, plug. Do you like that? About just water sensitive urban design. What does that mean in terms of not only better ecology in our local area, but better resilience for our homes? And again, this is resiliency. And also, as we go to an all-electric future, that perhaps you will actually be able to have electricity no matter what happens. And local economy. When we're thinking about sustainable materials, sustainable homes, we should also be thinking about low embodied carbon materials. Now, yes, there will be high embodied carbon materials that are made locally. However, we also have to think about, just like we think about food miles, right? And how fresh the food is and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not going to say that the materials are fresher, but they're from, they could be from local manufacturing, which means local jobs. That means someone in your neighborhood is benefiting from you investing in your home for that product. Someone is able to have a job because you are investing in timber from Mount Gambier. So it's an interesting thing when you put it on those lenses that investment in the local economy, of course, means a better livelihood for all South Australians, and Sustainable Homes should really be thinking about this. So how do we actually support local industry? And yes, this goes a little bit to health and comfort. However, who has heard of biophilia? Raise of hands. From a quick standpoint, I say that's about 20% of the room. So let me introduce a new concept up there. Who's gonna catch it? I just threw it up. Who's gonna catch? Catch? Yes. Good work, sir. Good work. So biophilia is the innate need. I'm not saying want. It's the innate need for humans to have connection with nature. We need connection with nature just as much as we need nutritional input from the food that we eat. This is not tree hugger in a suit science. This is psychological and sociological research from the 1970s. Since then, it is well established that when you can actually interact with nature on a daily basis, on a very regular basis, you are more physiologically and mentally fit. And this is not just for our young ones, this is for all ages. And I will illustrate this just quickly around whose most significant idea of a personal recharge is going on a hike, going to the beach, or going to a national park. Raise his hand. So a lot of y'all, we did about 20% that didn't really know what biophilia, but 80% of y'all in this room actually know what it is innately, because you feel restored when you have connection with nature. So I would like to actually extend that idea of biophilia, not just from our homes, that is really important, the integration of landscape with our urban environment, but extend that beyond the home and actually say that our neighborhoods, our cities, our state really have to make a concerted effort to make sure that we are regenerating ecology at almost every macro and micro level so we can actually be a lot more fit mentally and physically. And again, you guys told me, why should I do this? My argument is that we have no other choice. Why should we be creating sustainable homes? It's because that is the pathway to better lives. And we should actually be striving to make sure that it's not just an option for those that have access or financial access to this. We should actually be arguing that all Australians have access to sustainable homes for health and well-being. Now, that's where I leave off. And this is a little bit of a plug for the ASBN. We're cool. There's a lot of ways you guys can interact with us. We have a resource called the Green Book that shows all the cool people that can help you with a sustainable home. And if you want the hard copy, it's there. If you like the online version, it's there as well. And you can find us where all the cool kids find us as well. So I hope this is not the last time we interact with each other. I'm also around all day. I'm going to be emceeing the next half of the session as well. And so,
that was wonderful. Thank you very much, Ken. So some of the things I've learned is that if we invest in a sustainable home where it's better for our overall health and well-being, It can drive local sustainable solutions and the local economy to come up with those solutions that suit our climate as well. And it helps create houses that are more resilient to our changing climate here in SA, which is excellent. And I'm so excited that today we actually have a lot of businesses and consultants and government agencies as well who are not just here to sell you their product, but are all passionate about these topics and can't wait for this session to be finished so they can all talk to you again about what they do and help you with your solutions.